Have you ever walked into a home and instantly thought, wow, this looked amazing a few years ago, but now something about it just feels off, not broken, not ugly, just quietly outdated in a way that you can't unsee once you notice it. And then a slightly more uncomfortable thought hits you. What if your home is about to feel like that next? Because here's the truth that most people don't realize until it's too late. Home design trends don't age slowly. They collapse. They go from everywhere to why would anyone do that? In a shockingly short window of time. And if you look at the patterns, not opinions, not preferences, but actual historical cycles, you start to notice something unsettling. The trends dominating homes right now, many of them are following the exact same trajectory as design choices that people are now actively ripping out of their homes. This is not about taste. This is about timing. And timing, in design, is everything. Think back for a second. There was a time when chevron patterns were in every room. Rugs, curtains, accent walls everywhere. It felt modern, fresh, intentional. Until suddenly it didn't. The same thing happened with shiplap walls. What started as a charming farmhouse-inspired detail quickly became so overused that it lost all sense of character. And then there was the all-grey interior trend. Grey floors, grey walls, grey furniture, which once signaled sophistication, and now often reads as cold, lifeless, and unmistakably tied to a very specific era. None of those trends failed because they were bad. They failed because they became too popular, too fast, and too recognizable. And that is the pattern we are going to use today. Because once you understand why trends die, you can predict which ones are next. And that is exactly what we are going to do in this video. Not guess, not speculate randomly. Predict, based on the same signals that have repeated themselves in design cycles for decades. By the end of this video, you are going to look at certain trendy elements in your home, or ones you are thinking about adding, and see them very differently. Not as timeless upgrades, but as potential future regrets. And we're starting with one of the biggest offenders right now. A trend that looks incredibly high-end today, but is already showing early signs of fatigue. The modern organic look. Now on the surface, this trend feels safe. It's neutral. It's calm. It's inspired by nature. You see it everywhere. Soft beige palettes, curved furniture, Bouclé fabrics, light wood tones, minimal styling, maybe a few dried pampas grass arrangements sitting in oversized vases. It feels warm. It feels expensive. It feels like something that couldn't possibly go out of style. And that is exactly why it's dangerous. Because what most people don't realize is that safe trends are often the ones that saturate the fastest. The modern organic look has become the default aesthetic across social media, home decor stores, and influencer spaces. Scroll through any home design feed, and you'll see the same visual language repeated over and over again. The same tones, the same textures, the same carefully imperfect styling. And when everything starts to look the same, differentiation disappears. This is where the shift begins. What once felt curated starts to feel copied. What once felt calming starts to feel bland. And over time, what once felt high-end starts to feel like a template. We've seen this before. The all-white kitchen, the grey-on-grey living room, the farmhouse aesthetic. Each one started as a refined idea and ended as a visual cliché. The modern organic trend is not going to disappear completely, but the hyper-specific version of it that is dominating right now, the overly beige, ultra-minimal, texture-heavy look, is very likely to feel dated within the next few years. And the reason is simple. It lacks contrast. Design that lasts always has some level of tension. Light and dark, old and new, bold and subtle. When a space leans too heavily into one direction, it becomes tied to a moment rather than a principle. So if you're building your home around this trend right now, the question isn't whether it looks good today. It's whether it will still feel intentional when the next wave of design inevitably pushes in the opposite direction. Now let's move to another trend that is exploding right now, especially in kitchens and bathrooms, and is already starting to follow a very familiar path. Statement lighting fixtures that are trying a little too hard to be the center of attention. You've seen them. Oversized pendant lights with exaggerated shapes. Chandeliers that look like abstract sculptures. fixtures that dominate the entire visual field of a room. And again, these look incredible at first. They create a focal point. They add drama. They signal that the space was designed with intention. But here's the problem. When a design element is too specific, too bold, and too tied to a particular aesthetic moment, it becomes a time stamp. Think about the ornate chandeliers of the early 2000s. At one point, they were the symbol of luxury. Today, they instantly date a space. Not because chandeliers are bad, but because those specific designs were so closely tied to a particular era. The same thing is starting to happen with today's statement lighting. Design is already moving towards subtlety again. Toward fixtures that complement rather than dominate. Toward lighting that feels integrated rather than performative. And when that shift fully takes hold, the ultra-sculptural, attention-grabbing fixtures of today will start to feel excessive. Even a little desperate. This doesn't mean you should avoid having a focal point in your space. It means you should be careful about making that focal point something that screams, "This was installed in 2025, because the louder the design statement, the faster it ages. Now let's talk about a trend that is a bit more subtle, but arguably even more widespread, and that is the obsession with open shelving. Open shelves in kitchens. Open shelves in living rooms. Open shelves everywhere. At first glance, this trend makes a lot of sense. It feels airy. It feels modern. It gives you a chance to display beautiful objects instead of hiding everything behind cabinet doors. But there is a hidden problem here that most people only realize after living with it for a while. Open shelving is not just a design choice. It is a lifestyle requirement. Because in order for open shelves to look good, they have to stay curated. Consistently. Not just the day you install them. Not just when guests come over, but every single day. And that is not how most people actually live. Real homes accumulate real objects, mismatched items, practical tools, things that don't fit into a perfectly styled aesthetic. And when those things start to take over open shelves, the entire space begins to feel cluttered instead of intentional. We've seen this pattern before with glass front cabinets, with display-heavy interiors, with any design choice that prioritizes visibility over functionality. At first, it looks aspirational. Over time, it becomes exhausting. And eventually, people start moving back toward concealed storage. Not because it looks better in photos, but because it works better in real life. Open shelving won't disappear completely, but its dominance as a go-to modern feature is very likely to fade as people prioritize practicality again. And when that happens, homes that leaned heavily into it may start to feel like they were designed more for Instagram than for living. Now here's where things start to get really interesting, because the next trend on this list is one that people are investing serious money into right now, believing that it is a long-term upgrade, when in reality, it may be one of the fastest aging choices you can make. And that is highly stylized accent walls. Not simple paint. Not subtle texture. We're talking about geometric paneling, bold wallpaper patterns, slatted wood designs, walls that are designed to immediately grab attention. And once again, the appeal is obvious. These walls create instant visual interest. They make a room feel designed. They photograph incredibly well. But they also come with a hidden risk. They are extremely specific, and specificity is the enemy of longevity. Because the moment a particular pattern, texture, or style becomes strongly associated with a specific time period, it starts to age the entire space around it. Just like we can instantly recognize a room from the early 2010s by its feature wall, we will soon be able to recognize rooms from this era by their geometric panels and bold accent treatments. And when that happens, the wall that once felt like an upgrade becomes the first thing people want to change. This is the difference between timeless design and trendy design. Timeless design supports the space. Trendy design becomes the space. And when the trend fades, the space loses its identity. Now I want you to start noticing a pattern here, because everything we've talked about so far, from modern organic interiors to statement lighting to open shelving to accent walls, shares one common trait. They are highly visible. They are the things your eye goes to first when you walk into a room. And that is exactly why they are the most vulnerable to feeling dated. Because when something is visually dominant, it carries more of the responsibility for how the space is perceived over time. And that brings us to the next trend. one that is quietly taking over homes right now, often under the radar, but with the same long-term risk built into it. And once you see it, you're going to start noticing it everywhere. Now that you're starting to see the pattern, how visibility, overuse, and specificity accelerate the life cycle of a trend, the next one becomes impossible to ignore once you recognize it. And it's happening right under people's noses. Color-drenched interiors. If you haven't heard the term yet, you've definitely seen it. Entire rooms painted in a single color. Walls, trim, doors, even ceilings. All wrapped in one continuous tone. Deep greens, moody blues, earthy terracottas. It feels bold, it feels cohesive. It feels like a designer move. And right now, it signals confidence. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Color drenching is one of the fastest ways to lock your home into a specific moment in time. Because unlike neutral walls, which can evolve with your furniture and decor, fully saturated rooms are much harder to adapt. The color becomes the identity of the space. And when that specific shade falls out of favor, which it will, because color trends always rotate, the entire room starts to feel outdated all at once. We've seen this exact cycle with Tuscan kitchens in the early 2000s. Deep yellows, reds, heavy browns, at one point they felt rich and warm. Today they feel unmistakably dated. Color itself is not the problem. The rigidity is. When a design choice removes flexibility, it shortens its own lifespan. So if you're thinking about color drenching a room, the question isn't, does this look good right now? It's how easy will this be to evolve when the trend shifts? Because trends always shift. And speaking of shifts, let's talk about something that feels incredibly modern today, but is already showing early signs of becoming tomorrow's regret. Ultra-minimal, almost empty spaces. You've seen these homes. Perfectly styled, almost no visible clutter, maybe a sofa, a coffee table, one piece of art, and a plant. Everything feels clean, intentional, almost like a showroom. At first, it feels calming, but then something else starts to creep in. It feels impersonal. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about extreme minimalism. It often removes the very elements that make a space feel human. Personal objects, imperfections, layers that tell a story. And as more people adopt this aesthetic, we're starting to see a quiet backlash, a shift toward warmth, personality, collected interiors, spaces that feel lived in rather than staged. Design doesn't move in straight lines. It swings like a pendulum. And right now, that pendulum is already beginning to move away from sterile minimalism towards something richer and more expressive. Which means homes that lean too far into that ultra-minimal look may soon feel empty in the wrong way. Now let's talk about a trend that is everywhere in furniture and decor, and that almost nobody questions because it feels so safe. Bouclé. That soft, looped fabric you see on chairs, sofas, benches, usually in off-white or cream tones. It feels luxurious, textural, high-end, and for a while, it was. But now, it's everywhere. And once again, we're back to the same pattern. Overexposure. When a material becomes this dominant, it stops feeling special. It becomes expected. And once something becomes expected, it loses its ability to elevate a space. There's also a practical issue here that people don't think about enough. Light-colored bouclé is notoriously difficult to keep clean. It traps dirt. It wears in very visible ways. And over time, that luxury texture can start to look tired much faster than smoother, more durable fabrics. So what happens? People start replacing it. And when enough people start replacing the same thing at the same time, it becomes a clear signal that the trend has peaked. Bouclé isn't going to disappear completely, but its current dominance, that's very likely temporary. Now here's a trend that might surprise you, because it doesn't look flashy or dramatic, but it carries one of the highest risks of dating your home. Overly themed spaces. And I'm not talking about obvious themes like beach house or industrial loft. I'm talking about subtle but consistent overcommitment to a single aesthetic identity. The modern farmhouse everything home. The mid-century modern everything home. The Japandi everything home. At first, this feels cohesive, but over time, it starts to feel predictable. Because real, timeless spaces don't rely on one idea repeated everywhere. They layer influences. They evolve. They feel collected, not prescribed. When every piece in a room looks like it came from the same catalogue, in the same year, in the same style, the space loses depth. And more importantly, it becomes very easy to date. Because when that specific aesthetic falls out of popularity, and it will, the entire room goes with it. This is why designers who focus on longevity rarely commit 100% to a single trend. They mix, they contrast, they leave room for evolution. Because flexibility is what keeps a space feeling current over time. Now let's zoom out for a second, because by this point you might be wondering, does this mean every trend is bad? Should you avoid anything that's popular? Not at all. Trends are not the enemy. Unaware trend adoption is. Because the problem isn't that people follow trends. It's that they build their entire space around them, without understanding the life cycle those trends are part of. So here's the real takeaway. And this is the part that actually protects you from ending up with a home that feels embarrassing in 3 years. Focus on principles, not prescriptions. Instead of asking, what's trending right now? Ask, why does this look good right now? Is it contrast? Is it balance? Is it texture? Is it lighting? Because those underlying principles don't go out of style. The specific way they are expressed does. If you anchor your home in principles, and then layer in trends in smaller, more flexible ways, you get the best of both worlds. A space that feels current today, and still intentional years from now. But if you anchor your home in trends themselves, especially the highly visible, highly specific ones we talked about, you're essentially setting a timer on your own space. And most people don't realize that until the timer runs out. So here's what I want you to do next. Walk through your home with fresh eyes. Look at the elements that stand out the most. The ones your eye goes to immediately. Ask yourself, are these timeless? Or are they tied to a very specific moment? And if they are tied to a moment, the question becomes, how easy would it be to change them later? Because the goal is not to avoid trends. The goal is to stay in control of them. And if this video made you see your space a little differently, maybe question a few decisions, maybe rethink a few upgrades you were planning, then you're exactly who this channel is for. We don't just talk about what looks good. We talk about what lasts. So subscribe, stay intentional with your choices, and start building a home that doesn't just impress today, that still feels right years from now.